Welcome to the Fan Podcast. In today's episode, we're tackling a topic that's sending shockwaves from the factory floor to the retail showroom: tariffs. You've heard this word many times, and many people are terrified about the newly announced 30% tariff on upholstered furniture. So this is coming on top of existing and recently increased tariffs on steel and wood. So what does this mean for the mattress industry? Based on what we know today, we're going to break it down, and the Fan Podcast starts right now.
In the mattress world, a no at checkout means a lost sale. That's where American First Finance comes in. We help you say yes to more customers, even if their credit isn't perfect. With fast setup, tailored solutions, and support every step of the way, you're not just offering a way to pay. You're inviting them to Yesville, where more people get approved and customers can take home the mattress they need today. Visit AmericanFirstFinance.com to get started.
Did you know that 86% of customers buy from the first business that responds? And if you text back very quickly, that number jumps to over 90%. That's why Podium's AI employee, Jerry, is a game changer. Jerry never sleeps, never takes a lunch break, and never puts in a 2-week notice. He's always on, responding in seconds, so you never lose a lead again. Turn missed calls into texts, capture more leads, and close more deals, all with Podium. Want to see how it works? Get a demo today at podium.com/fam. Podium, because speed wins sales. For the first time ever, top retailers can carry the luxury mattress line one of America's top sleep retailers has kept to themselves until now. Introducing Prana Sleep. Crafted from 100% natural materials featuring luxury latex quilted directly into the top panel, it's a feel no competitor can match. Born from decades of retail experience, Prana Sleep delivers premium performance, customer loyalty, and unmatched sleep satisfaction. Your competition is going to hate selling against Prana Sleep because nothing compares. Apply now at pranasleep.com.
Welcome to the FAM Podcast with Mark Kinsley. This is where the best in the bedding business get even better.
Hey fam, it's Mark Kinsley. Welcome to the podcast. We're talking tariffs today. It's a word that ever since supply chain during COVID has become a common household term that a lot of people are familiar with. It really means, hey, are we going to have to pay more for stuff? And so the most recent tariff that's been announced is a 30% tariff on upholstered furniture. So I was actually texting with some of my friends who run adjustable base companies, and I asked them, are adjustable bases that feature upholstery considered upholstered furniture? And so it looks like the answer is no. It looks like the classification for an adjustable base is going to be, it is a metal bed frame. So hopefully that remains true, because there was already a heavy tariff on steel that was imposed previously, and also on wood. So, okay, let's back up a little bit. So the devil's in the details here, is because everyone in the industry is kind of going to figure out, number one, under the classifications that they use, this classification system, what is going to count as upholstered furniture. So first of all, this tariff is going to go into place effective October 1st. And the stated purpose is to counter, quote, the flooding of these products into the US market and to protect American manufacturing processes. So this classification schedule that they talk about, it's called the HTSUS. It's the Harmonized Tariff Schedule. And what they're looking at is the essential character of a product. And so that's why I was texting with my friends about adjustable bases, like, what is the essential characteristic of an adjustable base with fabric or pieces of furniture, or a mechanical base or wood or steel? All the things that go into it kind of give it that essential character. And so there is a very specific duty-free HTSUS code in the past for adjustable bases that was called, if anybody's interested in the numbers, it's 9403.20.0035, and it classified the adjustable base as metal furniture. So right now, to put it in context, furniture from Vietnam is already facing a 20% tariff, and furniture from Malaysia already has a 19% tariff. So, asking the central question, is this going to affect the adjustable base, is obviously something that we're really interested in the mattress industry. But many people I know sell furniture and mattress and case goods, upholstery, the whole thing. So they're kind of thinking to themselves right now, with a 30% added increase on top of steel and wood, how am I going to continue to drive consumer demand while also protecting my margin so I can have a good, healthy business? So let's back up a little bit and talk about the steel tariff, and then we'll talk about the sort of ongoing lumber dispute. So this is not happening in a vacuum. The industry has been grappling with significant duties on raw materials, primarily steel and wood, which are, of course, the backbones of many products we sell, especially in the furniture industry. So in June of 2025, they called it Section 232. It was a tariff on steel and aluminum. It went from 25% up to a whopping 50%. And that obviously impacts the cost of adjustable bases. And then any steel that's being used in springs, for example, would fall under sort of having to deal with that increased price structure. Now, the US is currently imposing almost a 15% tariff on Canadian softwood lumber, which supplies about 30% of the US market. So a lot of Canadian softwood lumber is coming into the US market. And some analysts are saying that rates could actually go up to about 27% or higher by the end of this year. So while the 30% tariff on upholstered furniture is sort of the new headline, the 50% steel tariff that hit in June is really that silent price driver that's already been squeezing margins and inflating costs for consumers all summer. So the bottom line is we're talking about percentages, we're talking about policies, but what does it actually mean for the price tag on the showroom floor? So here's some rough numbers just to get you sort of thinking about some of these pricing scenarios. So number one, adjustable bases. So let's say the typical adjustable base wholesales for $400, let's just say. This would see a price increase by about $150 due to the 50% steel tariff that's applying to components. So if you have adjustable base suppliers out there that are really trying to hold costs for you, give them a high five, give them a pat on the back, because this is a significant increase. You're talking 50% on steel, adding another $150 on top of a $400 wholesale price. That's not nothing. So if they've been able to hold some of the prices for you, that's big. So, with a standard retail markup, let's take it to the retail side. With a standard retail markup, at $150 wholesale increase translates to about a $375 price hike for the consumer. So if you're selling an adjustable base for $1,000, it's now $1,375. So pretty significant. I think what I would say to that is many times when consumers come back into the market for a mattress, they don't really know how much things are supposed to cost. So we might have an industry that, while we're competitive and we definitely go after some of the lowest price points whenever possible, the consumer doesn't really know how much things are supposed to cost when they come back into the market. So that $375 price increase, while significant and might take some people out of the market, people are kind of level setting on what the new reality is for all goods that they're buying, everything from the grocery store to the bedroom. So an upholstered bed frame, let's say you're selling upholstery and it's a bed frame or a bedroom set, not a set, obviously, but just like the upholstered headboard. So if you have an entire set that's wholesaling for, let's say it's $800, that's pretty high. But that wholesale cost could increase about $190. For a consumer, it means about a $475 price increase. And if the Canadian lumber tariff goes up as predicted, that's going to add another $100 bill on top of it to go up to about $576. So is it a nightmare scenario for the industry? I mean, it's not great, especially considering that, sort of what happened in the 50s and 60s, much of the furniture manufacturing in the US went overseas. And so the supply chain is really not here. The labor force, the machinery, the raw material supply chain, it's just not here from a furniture standpoint. Now, you have seen people like, Brian from Austin's Couch Potatoes begin manufacturing sofas, specifically here in the United States, right down there at Austin's Couch Potatoes. And so you do have some domestic capacity, but I mean, these are, not the big scale players that are supplying to the Wayfairs of the world. So the price hikes, do they come at a good time? Not necessarily. I mean, we do have some headwinds that we've been facing in the market. ISPA has said that in 2025, they predicted a 5.5% unit decrease. So some of these cost fatigues start stacking for the consumer. Higher interest rates are out there. It looks like you have fewer housing starts, fewer people moving. So that could squeeze retail margins and shift around sourcing away from certain countries. And, I remember having Sean Bergman with Pure Care on the podcast talking about this very issue and how Pure Care is diversifying their supply chain and their points of production so that they could essentially accordion from one country to the other with the same quality because of the chaos that kind of gets created whenever these tariffs get imposed. I'm giving you a little bit of armchair quarterback here. Of course, I got my cowboy hat on if you're watching on YouTube, and that's because we have Sleep Summit coming up. I'm armchair quarterbacking with you and giving you sort of this play-by-play because what you see in the headlines isn't always what's representative of reality. Because I talk to retailers every day, and so many maybe it's just the high quality people I'm interfacing with, but many of them are doing quite well, even in spite of what's happening from a tariff standpoint and what might be perceived as what could happen to consumer confidence whenever those tariffs are imposed. So what's the reality of this? Well, this is what I'm super excited about. So many people ask me in advance of Sleep Summit, hey, I want to know if I'm normal. I want to know if my perspective on the economy and the realities that I'm facing in my town, in my store, within my operation are representative of what other people are facing and what's actually happening in the economy. And so that's why I tracked down Dr. Chris Kiel. I actually heard Dr. Chris Kiel speak at an ISPA conference, and I was so arrested by what he was saying, separating the noise and the headlines, which are designed to grab attention from what's actually happening in the economy. I wanted to bring him in, and he's going to speak first because I wanted that foundational truth about what's actually happening in the economy to be represented at Sleep Summit so that it informs and colors the perspective of all the amazing speakers we have, and so that your takeaways are anchored in some sense of reality as opposed to the whiplash that happens in the media cycle. I used to be a journalist back in the day, and it was always said, if it bleeds, it leads, meaning you write a headline that's designed to grab somebody's attention, you make it dangerous, and people are going to pay more attention. That's because of the way that we're wired as human beings. We are wired as human beings to pay attention to threats. We are wired in nature to pay attention to things that are jagged, things that are things that are sharp, the things that are round and smooth. They feel much more like home, and we want to put them close to us. So think about that. Just anything that grabs our attention that could be a threat, we're more likely to pay attention to it. We've evolved, but not that much. And so that's why you see these bloody headlines out there all the time, literally bloody headlines. And, it's a tough place out there in a lot of ways. But for the most part, we need to separate the signal from the noise, the fact from the fiction, the reality and the projections from a professional perspective, from a real economist, one of the top economists in the world, who can kind of put us on a path to clarity. So I'm so excited about that. We also, by the way, it is a wanted theme. And the reason it's wanted is because you are wanted at Sleep Summit 2025. Don't miss it. We have record registration, an insane lineup of speakers covering real topics related to the mattress retail industry and our industry in general, sleep insights, how to be a better operator, how to think about future and innovation. It is just an action-packed lineup. I can't tell you how important it is to get out of your business and work on your business. You can't do it when you're working in your business. I know it's sometimes difficult to get out of your four walls, but we are here for action takers who become money makers. And, I was listening to the song recently, and I thought of you, and I thought, look, if you had one shot or one opportunity to seize everything you wanted in one moment, would you capture it or just let it slip away? You're singing with me already, right? His palms are sweaty, knees weak, arms are heavy. There's vomit on his sweater, already mom's spaghetti. Come on, don't wait. Sign up for Sleep Summit 2025. We want to see you there. It's an incredible record-setting number of retailers who are going to be in the building. The networking is intentional. You walk away with best friends. You walk away with sticks of dynamite you can throw into any log jam. You walk away with ways that you as a retailer can overcome the hurdles of tariffs. We don't want you to be terrified. We want you to be empowered. And that's what happens. It happens once a year. And that's why I'm saying, don't let this moment pass you by. Be the action taker that you know you are, because we want to see you there. We want to get you plugged in because you are part of the fam. Bring your cowboy hats because you are wanted. Okay, if you need anything at all, hit me up, markatthefam.com. Follow us on LinkedIn. Make sure to go to thefam.com and get on our newsletter because that's where all the good information happens regarding Sleep Summit, all of our events, lots of AI training and tips. We've been working with Podium, amazing partners who have helped us bring a lot of the AI training to you. I want to give a shout out to a couple of people. We just got back, Tara and I, from Southern California. First, we went to Ergo Motion. and celebrated in Santa Barbara their 20th anniversary. It was incredible. We got to actually go and join Guy and Faye and our friends at Ergo Motion, Alex, and we went whale watching. It was absolutely amazing. We saw humpback whales flipping their tails up out there in the channels. We saw thousands of dolphins. And most importantly, we got to experience that with so many amazing friends and fam within the mattress industry. So a huge congratulations to Ergo Motion on celebrating 20 years. I got to meet Alon and Jack. Alon is the founder of Ergo Motion, and he actually welded up the first adjustable base that he launched in his garage. Before that, he had Clinet Coachworks, which was a very high end. They were selling $100,000 cars back in the late 70s. And so Alon and myself and Tara and several others had such a wonderful conversation, and just seeing his principles and philosophies about being kind and being honorable and taking risks as the way that he's lived his life. I really connected with that and saw Johnny Grigg and so many other friends at Ergo Motion. So congratulations on 20 successful years. And Guy, thank you for the invitation and your hospitality and such a wonderful event. We had a great time. And we did dance the night away. Then we went down to Southern California, and I got to kind of check a box on something I've always wanted to do, which is meet Larry and Nelson from Sit and Sleep. And so I had the honor of going and teaching that entire executive team about AI. Always been innovators. They've always been at the forefront of how to think about this industry in a way that serves consumers and gets people connected to the heart of a company. They're a family company, and I couldn't believe just the magnitude of that operation, the quality of that executive team, and just the warmth and care and kindness that they extended to me and Tara as we learned about AI and got them on the path from finding the friction in your business to applying AI thinking. I can't be more grateful for that incredible experience. And let's just say that whenever it comes to buying a mattress in Southern California, I mean, it is a really special company. And we even stopped in their Culver City store, got to meet Peter and Chris. Peter, Chris, you guys are awesome. Thank you for taking time to let me basically try out every mattress in the store, see the bed match system, see a bunch of the cool King Coil product that's in there. You guys are doing great work, serving a lot of people, and have been doing it for a long time and are really creating legacy. And that's something that word's been ringing through my head. So thank you to everybody for our wonderful trip through Southern California. Can't wait to see you October 14th through 17th in beautiful Bentonville, Arkansas, for Sleep Summit 2025. Don't forget, if you're going to tack on a day, Mark Desjardins with Avocado is going to lead a ride the second day of Sleep Summit before the wrap party, which is going to be magnificent. So join my friend Mark Desjardins, who also goes by Dax Canyon. He's an advanced rider, and he's going to lead the Avocado team and you and anybody that wants to go on a fun ride. And then the day after Sleep Summit, if you're sticking around to enjoy Bentonville and world-class Crystal Bridges Museum of American Art, you're going to ride, if you want to ride the trails that the U.S. Olympic mountain biking team rides, that I ride almost every day, you can join me. I'm going to do a guided ride at 10:30 a.m. And then we're going to wrap up. It's going to be a fun ride. Don't worry, no drop, party pace. And then we're going to wrap up, and we're going to go to Peddler's Pub, which is a classic, amazing, really fun pizza and beer and burger place and incredible wings, an awesome place to shoot pool and watch the game. So we would love to have you join. Just reach out and let me know that you're going to stick around and that you're going to be a part of it. We're really turning. And also, I want to give a big shout out because Charlie DiCarlo and the Avocados are going to be playing on their own stage throughout Sleep Summit. So this is not just like a one-time one-off. Charlie DiCarlo is an incredible artist. Go find him on Spotify. He's become a great friend. And the band is coming out from Buffalo, New York. And so it's going to be Charlie DiCarlo and the Avocados on stage for these mini concerts, because we're infusing Sleep Summit with ideas and energy and music and art and connection, because we feel like it should be a microcosm of living life together with spirit and enthusiasm. And music's a big part of our lives. So we wanted to have that represented. So thank you to Charlie and the entire crew for coming out. The Irish twins are going to be here. You'll know what I mean when you get here. All right, that's the pod for today. Can't thank you enough. We'll see you back here every Monday.